Okay, let's look at this equation y equals mx plus b. Okay, so we've discussed what this m is. You hopefully you remember that m is the slope. Okay, that describes if it's a positive or negative. So if it's increasing or if it's decreasing, that's what the m tells us. It also tells us we discussed this, the rise over the run. So how steep a line is. And remember, you can find this with using stat edit. Now, whenever you use stat edit, the calculator gives you the slope as a. So it says a equals. Today we're going to take a look at this green letter here, b, and it's called the y-intercept. Y-intercept, and what the y-intercept is where your graph, where your line, okay, where it crosses the y-axis. So don't forget your y-axis is the one that goes up and down. So it tells us where my line crosses or touches the y-axis. So like this red point here, where it crosses the y-axis. So if I had another line, a blue line, and it was, let's just say it looked like that, my y-intercept would be right there where it touches the y-axis. So that's what this B is. That's what it tells us, where it touches the y-axis. And you may notice that the x value every single time for your y-intercept is always 0. So the x value is always 0. Okay, and we'll take a look at that here in just a second. Okay, if we're going to look at this graph, trying to find out where our line crosses the y-axis so that we can find out what b equals. B, the y-intercept, is just where our line crosses the y-axis. So here's our y-axis. The y-axis goes up and down. Okay, let's follow our line. Where does that touch the y? Oh, right there. Okay, right here. Okay, so what number is that? Yeah, 60. So b equals 60. So if we were to write this, y equals mx plus b, we could put plus 60. Okay, that's what we can know just by looking at that. Now, if you were to take and put this in the calculator and you were to choose 2 points, remember on your calculator, you get an a value and you get a b value. So b value is the one that lets us know where the line crosses the y-axis. It's called the y-intercept. Okay, so what we're trying to figure out is where does our line cross the y-axis. So remember, this is your y-axis. So let's trace our line. Where does it cross? Ah, right there. Okay, so, okay, what number is that? Well, -6. This is -8. So it crosses the y-axis at -7. So we could say that b equals -7. So if we were to write y equals mx plus b, okay, we know that this part will be -7. So you don't need to write plus -7. You should need to write -7 there. What about this line? So we've got, going to try to find our y-intercept, so where the line crosses the y-axis. We're looking for b, the y-intercept. Y-intercept is b, they're the same thing. Okay, so I'm just going to follow my line along. Where does that cross the y-axis? So right there. It touched the y-axis right there. So what number is that? -6. So we know that b equals -6. Here are some y4 examples. All right, I wanted to work out a couple examples from your iExcel so you'll know, make sure you feel comfortable. So what's the y-intercept? So we know our slope is 8. Our y-intercept simply is 7. So this is really all you do. Top in, make sure you're seeing the difference between the slope and the y-intercept. So the y-intercept on this would be 3. My slope and my y-intercept were both 3. What's the y-intercept? So the y-intercept is the b, the y equals mx plus b. So the second number there, the constant, would be 5. And that's what you're doing here. So what would well, they're both 7. Okay. Okay, no big deal. What's the y-intercept now? If it's a fraction, just still going to type it in. 10/9. Just like that. Okay, y-intercept, that's all you're doing. Just making sure you're identifying what the y-intercept is. Okay. So find the slope. So be careful. So sometimes it asks for the slope. So find the slope. So now we're going back and forth, and it can ask you about the slope and the y-intercept. So what's my slope? Slope is the one in front of x. So 8 over 5, 8. Oh, I keep doing that, 8 over 5. Okay, so go back and forth. What's the y-intercept? Now we're looking at the second number. So 8. Just like that. Y-intercept again is 1, 8, and so on and so forth. So just be careful. Make sure you're reading the question and giving you. So now you know what the slope is. Now you know what the y-intercept is. Okay, now I'm going to go over some y8 examples. Y8 examples, you have the slope and the y-intercept. So you're just going to practice writing it in the right form. Y equals mx plus b. So if the slope is 10, slope is the first number. So it goes with the x. So slope always goes in front of the x. And y-intercept is 5. There's already a plus 5 there. So that's all you're doing. Now we have a slope of 6 and a y-intercept of -10. So my slope, now be careful, look. There's already a negative, so don't put another negative here. Just type in 10. Okay, so just type in 10. If you type in a -10, it's going to be wrong. So just type in 10. Okay, let's look at this one. Slope of 2. So 2. Same thing, there's a negative already there. So if your y-intercept is this -10, it's already, there's already -9, there's already a negative there, so there's no reason to put another minus. Let me just show you. If you were to put a minus, where's my minus? There it is. Oh. So watch, it'll be wrong when you do it like this. So be careful, you'll get frustrated. You'll be like, ah. Okay, so be careful on that. Here's how you do y9. Remember, use stat edit. Okay, so how are we actually going to work this problem out? We can use our calculator. So remember, you just need to find 2 good points. So we're going to use 8, 2, and we can use 4, -2. And we can make a table and do stat edit. So x, y. So 8, 2, 4, -2. And when you put that in the calculator, okay, you're going to get an A value and you're going to get a B value. Remember, stat calc 4. So for your A value, you're going to get 1. And then for your B value, you're going to get -6. So let me just show you. This is how we're going to write this into y equals mx plus b. The 2 things that we need are B, we need our slope, and we need B, or y-intercept. So we could rewrite that as y equals, we're just going to plug our numbers in. So our slope is 1, so 1x, and then my y-intercept is -6. So there's no reason to put plus minus, no reason to put 2 signs back to back, so I can just write -6. And that's what I would type in for IXL. That's how you do that.